Hello team, how's it going, and welcome back to a new video. So today we're going to be talking about what if I joined the army today. So I'm in the process of leaving the army. I've done around 15 years. I'll talk about sort of how my career went and if I would actually change anything. Would I choose different trade job or do certain different courses? But before we get into it, I just want to thank all the new channel members and all those who have purchased merchandise recently. You can check them out below. If you want to join a channel membership, join the community Discord, or purchase any merchandise. We deliver pretty much worldwide. So thank you for all your support, and thank you to anyone who's recently subscribed, viewed, or whatever, supported this channel in any sort of way. I really appreciate it. Let's get into the video. So joining the military can be pretty daunting, and it can be even harder trying to pick a job. There's so many of them out there, hundreds and hundreds of trades just in the British Army alone, let alone in the RAF or Navy. You need to pick something that's right for you. Don't worry about what your friend's doing. Don't worry about what your family member's telling you. Research a role, and see if it's a good fit for you. If it's not a good fit for you, you're not going to enjoy it, and you may end up leaving the army earlier than what you should. But I'll talk about what I would do if I was joining now, and then you can go and research these roles and progressions in your career later on. So I joined AFC Harrogate when I was 16. I think I was 16 and 3 months straight out of school. Did a year at Harrogate, and then I passed out into the Royal Artillery and went to phase 2 in Larkhill for the Royal Artillery, and that I wouldn't actually change. I've thought about this a lot. I'm in the Household Cavalry Regiment now, but that was actually a very good part of my life and a very good time in my career. I got to go straight into the fire support teams, AKC OPs, which is a very sort of sought after job within the Royal Artillery. It's, you know, you don't normally get put straight in that job. Normally you have to do the CP or the gun line, and then you get chosen to go into that job. I got to go straight in that, and it is one of the best jobs in the army for sure. So first things first, if I was joining the army now, I would still go into the Royal Artillery, and I'd recommend the Royal Artillery to anyone. So if it is something you're interested in or you haven't heard about them, go and check them out on the British Army website, do your own research, and then see if it's for you. They've got so many different regiments, so many different trades that you can do, that there's got to be something in there for you. But if I was going to the Royal Artillery, FSTs is the role I would do. So you want to go to an AS90 or a light gun regiment, and you want to be looking at joining the FSTs, in case of fire support teams. That's the job I would recommend going into. If you can't get into that, you do have other jobs, but that's the one job I would recommend. My career progressed. I did like my level 2 and level 3 and level 4 OPIAC. I did other sort of courses as well. And quite early on, I wanted to go for selection for UK Special Forces. I'm not going to go shoulda, coulda, woulda. I never went for it. I never badged, whatever. The only people that can really talk about it is those that have badged. But I would actually go and apply this time. I didn't have the confidence back then, and you should never doubt yourself. I was a very different person back then when I was 21, 22, when I was going for it. And I would still push for that. But what I'd do differently, which is what I didn't do once again, is I'd look to go to PF, so Pathfinders. I would get myself on their sort of briefing a couple of days, and then look to attempt their selection. Whether I'd pass or not, I don't know. It's a 6-week course. I believe I could now, but shoulda, coulda, woulda, you know, it's down to them to decide. But this is the route I tell you I would like to attempt if I rejoin the army, which I didn't do. So these are the things I'd change in. I would still join the artillery. I would still go AFC Harrogate. But around 2 to 3 years of my career, I would mostly look at going to Pathfinders. Okay, they are pretty much the BRF. Okay, for 16 air assault. They do some really high profile jobs. They do their halo jumps. Their selection course is very hard. And they sort of get left alone, and they're very professional and keen soldiers, and someone I would like to work with. After doing 2 years there, then that's when I would look at applying for UKSF. Whether I badge or not, I do not know. In the confidence in myself, I feel like I could, but it's totally down to them. Should have attempted it when I was younger. I didn't, but then I wouldn't be where I am now. But this is the route I'd go. So we've got AFC Harrogate, join the Royal Artillery, look to apply for Pathfinders, hopefully pass into that. Around 2 years with Pathfinders, and then I'd look to apply for UKSF. A couple of other things that could throw a spanner into the works now is you do have the Ranger battalions, which do look pretty cool. When I joined, they wasn't about. So that is something you could possibly replace PF with, Pathfinders. But I would definitely look to go down that sort of route if possible, some sort of specialist role. If that would have failed, then I would pretty much carry my career on as it sort of went, but I would look to do a couple more courses. So I did my career, I did some overseas exercises, and then while I was with 7th Parachute Regiment Royal Horse Artillery, I then did a 2-year posting at Apparel, which I'd still love to do, either there or Harrogate. Being a Phase 1 instructor was absolutely amazing, and I would still look to do that. And then transfer to the Household Cavalry Regiment, which I would still do. I wouldn't change this part of my career. There's only a couple of things that I would push for now. So I did crew commanders while I've been with the Household Cavalry Regiment. What I would push for is to do my snipers course. I put an interest in when I first come to the regiment, but there was other plans for me to do crew commanders and stuff. I'd have more of a push for that, and I would try and force myself down that route. Even though I was a corporal and quite late on my career, it's sort of unheard of being that late in your career going for that sort of course. I would try and push for that more if I could, because it is something that really interests me, and something that I wish I would like to apply for. I would also push for juniors and seniors. Okay, so you've got SCBC, which is your Section Commander's Battle Course, which is what the infantry do so they can promote to a full corporal. In the Household Cavalry Regiment, we get to do that. And then I'd look for seniors as well, which is your Platoon Sergeant's Battle Course, okay, so PSBC. And that's basically for the infantry to promote to sergeant. Being in the Royal Armoured Corps, we get an opportunity to do them, and they are courses that I wish I had sort of applied for, but because I was signing off, there was no need to, because I've got other interests now that I want to do, and that is making videos for you. So, summarising that up then, is I would still join AFC Harrogate. There's a lot of sort of controversy out there, especially with parents wanting to let their children go and do it. I'm telling you now, it turned me into the person I am today. It gave me so much confidence, so many skills, especially as a 16-year-old, that you won't get from things like college, your standard sort of college. So AFC Harrogate, I feel, is one of the best things you can do out there. Then I would still go to the Royal Artillery, pushing for the FSTs. If I couldn't get the FSTs, I wouldn't go for the Royal Artillery. That's the trade I would want to do. That's the trade I've done and thoroughly enjoyed, and that's the one I'd recommend that you would push for if I was joining the Royal Artillery. And then after around 2 to 3 years, gain a bit of experience, and then hopefully I'd be good enough to go for Pathfinders. Whether I pass or not, I don't know. That would be down to the directing staff. So if that's something you're looking at doing, train hard. And then just give it your all, and then hopefully you pass and you can go and work with Pathfinders. And then I'd look at applying for UKSF selection, something I never did. You know, I don't regret it, because I wouldn't be where I am today with my family and the choices I've made, but if I was rejoining, that's what I would do. If all that failed, then I would continue down the path that I did. I would look to do Phase 1 establishment still. Definitely recommend anyone in the British Army looking to do that. It's seriously fulfilling. And then I would come across to the Household Cavalry Regiment like I did, as long as they would accept me again. But I'd push for a sniper role instead of being more of an armoured commander. The sniper role interests me more. And then I'd look to do juniors and seniors if possible, because they're courses that really interest me. If I could, maybe while in the Royal Artillery, every now and then you can do it. I would look to maybe do juniors if I possibly could be in the Royal Artillery. Sometimes they get slots, but not all the time. And then I'd finish my career there. If I didn't find YouTube and the fitness stuff, then to be honest, I'd look to do the full 22 years, because I have other things that have come up in my life. That's what I've gone for. But I'd highly recommend, definitely doing 22 years. You get a great pension and a great fulfilling career if you want to. So really, there isn't much I would change in my career. The only thing would just be having more confidence in myself to apply for specialist roles such as PF or Special Forces. Even just attempting it would have been good, even if I failed. It would have been good to say that I attempted it, but I didn't. But that's just the way life goes. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know what you're looking to join. If whether you're stuck or confused, comment below. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Remember to click that subscription button. And then I will catch you in a future video. Cheers.